Track and field has been very important at Browning ever since. In 1960, the Moline team, coached by Gene Shipley, won the state track title, the first downstate team to do so in 25 years. Since then, the track has been named after Shipley, and the annual Shipley Invitational Track Meet is a featured event at Browning. And by the way, Gene Shipley was another one of my 7th grade teachers. Several professional football teams in Moline, 2 are most lasting. The Illini played from 1910 through 1913, and the Indians, who are also called the Red Men, from 1914 to 1929. The first professional game at Browning was played on Sunday, October 6th, 1912, the day after the first high school game was played there. The Illini faced another Moline team, the Olympics. The result was a 0-0 tie over 4 10-minute quarters in front of about 1,000 fans. The other major team, the Indians, first played at 3i Park, then moved to Browning in 1919. Among the teams they played was the Rock Island Independents, an original member of the National Football League. And many people don't know this, but after the Independents left the NFL in 1925, they played 1 season of their home games at Browning Field. Just in the background of this 1923 photo, a house. And so I went over to Browning the other day and took a picture of the same scene, and sure enough, there it is. The fence is new, but the house is the same. The Indians' last game was against the Muscatine Muskies. The big Muskies, I must say. Originally scheduled for November 10th, 1929, as this ad shows, the game was canceled because of bad weather. But it was played 2 weeks later, and just like the first program at Browning in 1912, it resulted in a 0-0 tie. With that, professional football ended in Moline. Interleague professional baseball, Plowboys, started playing in the 3i League in 1914. In 1919, Moline native Warren Giles took over the management of the team and moved them from 3i Park to Browning in 1920. Giles, of course, went on to become general manager of the Cincinnati Reds, president of the National Baseball League, and a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Next. With Giles in charge, the baseball grandstand was built at the east end of the football field in 1920. A large canopy covered the curved stands behind the home plate, and in 1925, a similar covering was added above the third base stands. The first base stands were never covered. The Dispatch on April 1st, 1920 described the new facility. Browning Field will be one of the most beautiful minor league athletic fields in the country. The fence, which will be of heavy wire mesh, will be hidden from view on the inside by a solid mass of green shrubbery and vines, not only presenting a beautiful background for the ball game, but also compelling spectators to visit the box office in order to see the game. The grandstand, players' benches, press box will be painted a battleship gray, and the huge bleachers along the south side of the field and along the first line baseline will be cleaned and painted. The playing field will be modeled after the best of the Major League diamonds. In baseball seasons after 1930, 3 wooden poles supporting lights for the football field had to be removed from the right and center field for the baseball season. One of those wooden poles came down in 1969. No one was hurt, and subsequently, a few years later, all 8 were replaced by 4 metal poles that are there. This game of the new Browning baseball diamond was on April 12th, 1920. The Chicago White Sox came to town to play the Playboys. They came to town to plow the Playboys in a preseason game. I'm not even going back to that one. The game was scheduled for 2:30 p.m. so the Sox could catch an early train for Chicago. But the Sox brought to town not only part of their team, and apparently it was not the strongest part. They lost to the Plowboys 7-1. Newspaper reports noted that they were not only incompetent, but they were also in a hurry to finish the game to catch the 5 p.m. train back to Chicago. Okay. The new facility was officially dedicated on Wednesday afternoon, May 5th, in conjunction with a game against Terre Haute. Stores and some factories closed to allow employees to attend the event, which began with a 50-car parade through downtown Moline. The 2,600 people in attendance saw Mayor Charles Skinner throw out the first pitch and the Plows win 4-1. Their Terre Haute team was managed by Hall of Fame pitcher Mordecai Three Finger Brown. Apparently he just had 3 fingers. Here are the 1938 Plowboys. This team, which played until 1941, was an affiliate of the Chicago Cubs for its last 4 seasons. Next. 2 special events highlighted the Plowboys' last years at Browning. On April 14th, 1938, the Chicago Cubs came to town to face the Plows in an afternoon exhibition game. The visiting team arrived early by train and spent part of the morning signing autographs in the lobby of the LeClaire Hotel. 3,800 fans who showed up for the 1:30 game saw the Cubs prevail 18-4. On June 26, 1940, Babe Ruth came to Browning to exhibit his hitting prowess before a game between the Plows and the Springfield Brownies. A local urban legend has it that the Bambino hit balls from home plate in Browning onto the roof of the field house. Not so. According to the dispatch reported that Ruth hit 24 of 33 pitches delivered to him by Plows manager Mike Gazella, a former teammate of Ruth. It was Ruth's buddy who was pitching him fat pitches, and the Babe only hit one out of the park. Only one went over the fence. It was a 340-footer that landed near the field house, but not on its roof. Total attendance for that event was 1,752, the largest of the 1940 season. Next. Moline High School started baseball in 1945. I'm told that Cork Mahar says that he's the one who urged the administration to start baseball, and indeed they did. John Wetzel, who is here somewhere, played for the Rock Island High School team at Browning. He recalls having to negotiate the cinder track running through the center and right fields and behind home plate, a distinct home field advantage for the Maroons. And some of the folks in this picture, all the folks in this picture include Larry Vander Hayden, Jim Caldwell, Dave Hellier, Mike Heitman, Clyde Storbeck. Next. The baseball grandstand burned down in 1958. Since the 1959 season, the high school baseball has been played out by the new high school. The new high school is 54 years old. So far, I've identified only 2 professional boxing programs at Browning. They were both on July 4th in 1923 and 1924. I presume they set up the ring near home plate to take advantage of the crescent-shaped seating arrangement. And in those matches, Moline featherweight Sailor Larson beat Johnny Harris of Cleveland in 1923, and then he beat Babe Asher from Chicago in 1924. The Fieldhouse would later host numerous boxing events, both amateur and professional. Over the years, a variety of special events have been held at Browning Field. In July 1924, the Moline Chamber of Commerce sponsored a 6-day Moline Industrial Exposition. It featured, according to the dispatch, everything manufactured in Moline, and was designed to sell Moline and her products to the citizens of the city and surrounding. The displays were in 2 tents occupying a total space of 27 by 400 feet, set up on the baseball part of the field. In addition, the Brundage shows brought to town 6 rides and numerous amusement stands that occupied the west half of the football field. Vaudeville, including some outdoor aerial acts, was featured. To top off the entertainment, the 25-piece Moline Community Service Band played 4 concerts each day, and a large fireworks display was presented each evening. Total attendance was 27,000, including 7,000 who were there on the last day of the event, Saturday, July 12th. This exposition was a forerunner of the Pageant of Progress, which was held at the Fieldhouse for several years in the 1930s. The 5th annual Rock Island Railroad Games were held in August 1928. This is a one-day tournament. In this one-day tournament, railroad employees from all over the Midwest competed against one another. Morning events included horseshoe pitching at Longview Park in Rock Island, tennis at Augustana College, golf at the Arsenal Golf Club, trap shooting at the Davenport Gun Club, pistol shooting on the Arsenal. A little less strenuous event, checkers, was held in the lobby of the LeClaire Hotel, the tournament headquarters. For the first time, this was the 5th annual, but for the first time, Rock Island Railroad female employees and children of employees were allowed to compete. Preliminary track and field events were held at Browning in the morning. Then at 1:30 p.m., about 5,000 spectators appeared for the track and field finals, a tug of war, band competition, and other final events. At 5:45 in the afternoon, special trains left Moline Station for an evening victory banquet and award ceremony at the Rock Island Arsenal cafeteria. It was attended by 700 people. In the competition, the Illinois Silvis Division narrowly edged out Dakota for the divisional title. In the lower picture, by the way, if you look in the background, the field house is under construction. In August 1928. Next. During the 1930s, a quarter-mile cinder track at Browning was used for midget auto races. One such event, on the evening of July 4th, 1935, was held for the benefit of the Moline Playground Fund under the auspices of the Moline American Legion. At least 22 cars were entered, most popular types being Itos or Itos, anybody have the pronunciation? E-I-T-O-S, Harleys, and Indians. The fastest times in the single lap time trials was just over 23 seconds. Motorsports returned to Browning in the summer of 1947, when several professional Saturday evening motorcycle races were held, each attracting up to 2,000 fans. In anticipation of these events, the Dispatch offered this analysis. Motorcycle racing is regarded as one of the most thrilling of all daring sports. It will be especially so on the short quarter-mile Moline cinder track, which encircles the baseball field. There being no bank turns, a win depends upon a rider's ability to broadside around turns. He actually turns the corners on his left foot, the hot shoe. This is where many crack-ups occur. These races were sponsored by the Valley Cities Motorcycle Club and the Council of Associated Dads Clubs in Moline. The following year, the school board declined to approve motorcycle racing at Browning. Apparently neighbors had complained about the noise and perhaps other annoyances. Okay, I forgot to mention that there's going to be a couple of quizzes as part of this program. Right. Here's the first quiz. Where was the Rock Island County Fair held before 1955?
Right in the parking lot
What parking lot?
of Warden Fieldhouse.
Bingo. Now, where else?
I was there.
No.
Do you have any pictures?
Well, we're coming to that. Okay, I'll tell you a story. For 2 years, August 1948-49, the county fair was held inside and outside of the field house. Okay? Next to, but not in Browning Field. The fair traces its origins to the 19th century, but did not find a permanent home until 1955, when it acquired the East Moline Fairgrounds for the event. Before World War II, it was held sporadically under a variety of names and sponsorships at a variety of locations around the county. After the war, the Rock Island County Fair Association was organized and began to transform the event into a more urban-oriented affair with carnival rides and entertainment, in addition to the traditional farm products orientation. The fair moved to the field house in 1948. In late July, the Dispatch called for volunteers. This was a real community effort. Volunteers to, quote, set up tents, build fences, drive posts, and otherwise prepare for the opening of the fair in the Warden Fieldhouse area. The paper went on to quote County Farm Advisor George Reed, "We will need 50 to 75 men and boys and 25 women. The 6 large tents will be here Monday, August 2nd. Workers will need to bring hammers, pliers, baling wire, and a truck or 2 could be used. We also will need a few iron post drivers and a post hole digger or 2. Now, did you take your post hole digger to that event? Where are we? Okay, next. An advertisement for the fair